Harry's wife. Nobody's interested in Archewell. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. How do we know that nobody's interested in Archewell? Well, the figures speak for themselves. Mail Online has analysed the Archewell Foundation tax filings, and it explains that the Archewell Foundation raised $13 million from just two wealthy benefactors, and then handed out $3 million to uplift and unite communities. Prince Harry and Harry's wife's foundation in 2021 gave out $3 million in grants and raised $13 million from wealthy benefactors and $4,500 in public donations, tax records reveal. That of itself is quite staggering. There they are, the Prince of Pink Pancakes and his wife, holding themselves out as bananatarians. We have escaped the shackles of the royal family, and we're here to save the world. Give us your money. And so who does? Just two wealthy people provide $13 million, and the rest comes from the public. And it's just $4,470. Now let's just imagine that each individual gave $1. Of the 8 billion people on the planet, just 4,470 were moved to donate. The likelihood is some people donated a bit more than $1, and therefore it's highly likely that less than 4,000 people were interested to make a donation to this particular foundation, which demonstrates the lack of popularity that Harry's wife has had, even back in 2021, and it's got even worse. In total, Archewell received a total of $13,560,660, with $10 million coming from an individual donor and $3 million from another, and $4,470 from other contributions and grants. The remaining $1,190 came from investment income. So it's hardly the success of a tsunami of donations coming from lots and lots of people. Interestingly, and this seems to me to be a little bit of baiting by the Daily Mail to put this speculation forward to see if Harry's wife would be so bold as to try and sue them, and she would then have to release the information, or quite possibly they already know this, and therefore they are baiting her again by making this observation. The Mail states, this has led to speculation that the larger donation was made by Oprah Winfrey in return for the interview the Duke and Duchess of Sussex gave in March 2021, which rocked Buckingham Palace, and that the other $3 million came from Harry himself as part of the $20 million advance he received for his controversial autobiography Spare. So imagine that. Imagine your foundation has generated such little interest that the money on the face of it seems quite impressive, but $10 million has basically come as your fee for chatting shit in an interview, where Oprah would have made many times more of that money as a consequence of the interest in the interview at the time and it being syndicated elsewhere, and that you've had to use your own money to pump into the foundation to make yourselves look good. And the reality is that just over $5,000 has come from elsewhere. The Mail continues by stating, the charity dished out $3,096,319 in grants, which amounts to 24% of its income, and at the end of 2021 had $9,018,590 in reserves. The document also reveals that Harry and Harry's wife work 1 hour each a week at the foundation. See immediate parts passing for my observations about that. Since 2018, 16 employees have left the Archewell brand, which demonstrates that not only are people not interested in donating to it, the staff aren't particularly interested in remaining there. Hardly a surprise, of course, having to deal with the Duchess of Overseas is such whereby it's quite common for an organisation to have a high turnover of staff because of the demands and the capricious nature of the narcissist. The return that has been submitted contains a number of expenses, totaling $727,666, including $427,110 on legal fees, $69,042 on conferences, conventions and meetings, expensive sandwiches, and $12,096 on travel. It doled out $3 million in grants to 25 US institutions or non-governmental organisations and $160,319 to 3 European causes. The 990 tax form is an overview of all revenue, donations and expenditure for tax-exempt organisations. Archewell's 2021 tax return should have been filed with the IRS by May 15, 2022, but it appeared on its website 10 months after that deadline. Again, Harry's wife demonstrating her lack of accountability by failing to adhere to a deadline. In 2020, Archewell was allowed to send in an abbreviated 990 form called an e-postcard, as it had received less than $50,000 in revenue and had been in existence in the United States for less than 1 year. Accordingly, the financial information speaks for itself, and as I repeatedly impose upon you, the fact that you must always go to the evidence in so many things, and especially when dealing with the issue of a narcissist. By going to the evidence, you form a more accurate picture of what is happening vis-a-vis the way that the narcissist behaves towards you, and of course accumulating evidence which can assist you with regard to legal redress against the narcissist. Here, it enables us an accurate picture of what's really going on with the Archewell Foundation. Harry's wife, of course, uses it for facade management. She uses it for purposes of control, so that people respond to the organisation, that it makes her look like a bananatarian, where people react to it so that she gains fuel. However, when one actually looks at the evidence of what it does, it can be seen that it partners with other people and basically steals their thunder, and very few people are actually that interested in donating to it, which is representative of the way that people see through her. And in essence, the two largest donations appear, if the mail is correct, to have come from Oprah Winfrey as a payment for an interview, and from Harry's own donation himself, demonstrating that simply nobody's interested in the Archewell Foundation because nobody's really interested in Harry's wife. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.